I am going to I'm going to stick up for the Lady Byng here. I've noticed that a lot of people are not willing to do that, and there is somewhat of a stigma that comes with the Lady Byng because, you know, it's almost a soft trophy. It means you're not rough and tumble. You don't get in fights. You don't throw big hits. You don't rough up the other team. Scrums or something you might be allergic to. And because of those definitions that are aligned with the award, I feel like there's a lot of players that don't even want to be nominated for the Lady Byng. But I think it comes down to the way it's defined. And I've always looked at it as a smart player, a player I can trust. Like you got McKinnon, Matthews, and O'Reilly. I don't think they're easy to play against. In fact, I know they're not. But I appreciate the fact that they can be on the ice at any point as a head coach or as a fan. And I know they're not going to take a dumb penalty. They're not going to do something stupid. So I think it's time the Lady Byng, they got to stick up for themselves. If that award has any soul, it should step up here and start defending itself and relate to people that it's not about being soft, it's about being smart. What do you make of that, Craig?
Well said. Well said. Hear, hear. Again, okay, so Wayne Gretzky's won the award 5 times. Go and look at the winners of the Lady Byng Award, over the history of it. And I can tell you what, if you want to go look at the Hockey Hall of Fame plaques, a large number of winners of the Lady Byng have their plaques on the walls of the Hockey Hall of Fame. And so, you know what? Bobby Hull, was he soft? He won the Lady Byng. Stan Mikita was the classic bad boy who turned his game around, to your point, Brian, and became that smart player and won the Lady Byng. Because, he was a player, and they told him, stay out of the penalty box. You know what? You're a better player than that. So he said, yeah, I'm smart enough to do that, so I will. So, when you look at it, people want to diminish it. Okay, well, diminish Wayne Gretzky and diminish Mike Bossy and diminish Bobby Hull and diminish Joe Sakic. Go ahead, diminish Ron Francis. If that's what you want to do, it's one of those commentaries that, for me, when people make the commentary, it's a commentary about their own stupidity, not somebody else's.
Craig, I looked at this really closely this year, and I do have the honor of voting, and I had 2 defensemen in my top 5. And because I think I was missing out on that as the game has changed, and, you think of the old school defenseman in front of the net, but I had both Zach Werenski and Jacob Slavin in my top 5 this year, which was the first time I've been able to feel that I could insert defensemen into that Lady Byng top awards.
Well, I had those 2 players in my top 5. In fact, my first place vote went to Zach Werenski. Nick Lidstrom never won the Lady Byng trophy, but, he scored. Zach Werenski is the first defenseman to have 20 goals and 10 penalty minutes or 12 penalty minutes since Nick Lidstrom. Oh, okay, so you don't want Nick Lidstrom? You want to demean the Lady Byng? And, demean Nick Lidstrom. And, Zach Werenski played almost 24 minutes a game. So to your point and to Brian's point about how you play and how you have to play smart, a defenseman's facing the rush all the time. The defenseman's in front of his net. He's facing attackers and people that are trying to score, and you're in those battles, along the boards and in tight spaces. Just think about, the ability to perform at a high level and not take penalties for a defenseman. So, Zach Werenski got my first place vote. He's not one of the finalists. Slavin got a vote for me in the top 5. So I'm right with you, Dave. And I don't think, Brian Campbell, I think, was the first defenseman to win it since Red Kelly. And, I get it. I get that there's a lot of great forwards who don't get a lot of penalties. But I think it's really hard for defensemen to do what Slavin and Zach Werenski did. And there's been other ones over the course of history in the National Hockey League that have done very similar things.
Yeah. Oh, it's much more difficult to do it. Like not clutching and grabbing, you're getting burned wide, and you don't take penalties on that. You're not protecting the house, or you do so in a fashion that isn't going to get yourself penalized. I'm with you on that. Like Nick Lidstrom screams Lady Byng. Smartest player I think I've seen in my lifetime, or one of them, on a short list of the smartest, most predictable, most reliable players I've ever seen is Nick Lidstrom.
When you look at a Ryan O'Reilly, Brian, and you look at a Ryan O'Reilly, he plays hard. Mm-hmm. He plays a hard game. The fact that he doesn't take penalties is really, really remarkable because he's not easy to play against, and he plays hard.
Right.
Flat out hard.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know, and that's the term, and there it is right there, hard, right? Like hard in the game, really bears down in all those critical areas. Well, Dave, you know this as well as anybody. You've won a Selke Trophy. You know how hard it is to be in the right position because those offensive players can take advantage of you real quickly. So not only is the game, demanding from a physical point of view, but when you're in this category of players, Selke Trophy winner, Lady Byng, I mean, it demands a lot of you mentally because one wrong step in the wrong direction and you're in trouble. And when players have played that much under those types of circumstances and have that few penalties, I think it speaks volumes about how good they are both physically and mentally.